Hardworking queen, positive queen, loyal queen, successful queen, loving queen, God-fearing queen, respectful queen, ambitious queen. The everyday queen. You know the everyday queen. You know the everyday queen. Ooh, 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 the everyday queen. You know the everyday queen.
Everyday Queen.
I am Rudy.
And I am Tina. And we are so excited for this episode called Crown of Legacy.
Yes.
So thank you, followers, for coming back to join us on Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Tune in.
All right, so Rudy, what is it? The Crown News.
Yes.
Queen, what is going on? Did you see Reginae Carter's party?
It was a party.
Honey, did you see that? Did you see that camouflage?
Yes.
Girl, she took over the 2000. You know what I'm saying?
With the whole box of brand.
Whole box of brand. She was looking real good.
Yes,
I said, okay,
yes,
Juvenile was there. She had everybody. That's how you do a party. We from the South. That's how you throw it down. Rudy, do you remember the old Cavalier days?
Yes, turn up. Back that thing up. Woo, woo, woo,
pop it. Yes, those were the days. So just want to say happy belated birthday, Regina. You did your thing.
Happy birthday.
Next year, Miss Carter, you better invite the queens, okay? To turn it out.
Yes.
I'm too old to turn it out.
I still got something in me.
Come on, shake your face.
Yes.
All right, now. So you might be wondering, who are these two beautiful people on the screen, this lovely queen and this lovely king? We're about to introduce them. Rudy, go ahead and introduce this lovely queen.
So this beautiful lady right here is Zael Clark, originally from Woodbridge, Virginia. She's alumni from Virginia State University, VSU. Yes, I love it. She has her BA and MA in project management. She is a publishing author and owner of Black Air LLC. So let's introduce this Zael Clark.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Now we're going to introduce the handsome Mr. Mike Nelson. Yes, Mr. Mike Nelson was the definition of a 9-to-5 dropout, working in corporate America for 5 years, but 9-to-5 was not for him. He started a t-shirt business that flourished into further opportunities, such as being a full-time 9-to-5 dropout, creating multiple 7-figure businesses, teaching 9-to-5 employees how to start their own business, and doing 9-to-5 dropouts of free online training. Let's welcome this king, Mr. Mike Nelson, to the Everyday Queen.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
Yes.
So we're going to start off with a question. What is legacy? Let's start off with Zael first.
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe legacy is being able to leave something behind for your family, for your children. It's kind of like when it's all said and done, what are people gonna say about you?
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. All right. Well, Mr. Mike Nelson, what do you think?
Man, like I'm gonna have to take it back to middle school for a little bit real quick before I tell you that. When I was in middle school, I used to have a teacher. Her name was Miss Nelson, and I used to love her because like we had the same last name, and I used to tell myself we was related. And she was the first teacher that showed us the movie Roots. And I remember we sat in the classroom like for days watching the movie Roots. And I was like so engulfed into the characters from Chicken George to Kunta Kinte and everything. And it was amazing how like as the story went on from Kunta to Kizzy to Chicken George, like they carried the story about their heritage and their family. And it wasn't like anything that you can touch that was tangible, but instead it was like the stories that they were able to share from their ancestors to the next ancestors. And it's like nothing was lost along the way. So to me, what legacy is all of the things that I do, you know, for my family that's remembered, to where when they share my story with like my great grandkids, it's like, hey, this is what your great grandfather was able to accomplish. So for me, legacy is like what is for your last name, what you're going to carry on, and what the people are going to talk to you generations on to come.
Yes. All right. Nelson, yes, I love the roots. Woo, bring it home, Toby. Yes. So, what? How do you build your legacy? So we said what does legacy mean to you, but how are you building your legacy?
For me, it's a everyday challenge, an everyday thing that's constantly occurring and constantly changing. And you know, when I was a kid and I, you know, was in high school and I knew like, hey, the next step for me is going to be college. Like I was just taking everything one step at a time. Like, okay, college, that's the next step for me. Then once at the college, okay, I'm gonna get a job. That's the next step for me. Because I'm constantly learning. So for me, like how I'm building my legacy right now is at one point, yeah, I used to work at a 9-to-5 job. And when I wanted to build my legacy there, I couldn't really see what that legacy looked like because it was like I was always working for someone else. And you know, it was like, okay, so the legacy for me is going to be working for this other person. And, you know, that's what I'm gonna pass down to, you know, my grandkids and my kids. And it just didn't sit well for me. So then I went to the drawing board. Okay, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to, I want to do something that I'm like my kids and my grandkids can be proud of. So that's when like it's a long story in between there, but what I ended up doing was starting my own business. Starting my own business to where now my son, who is 13, he's able to help me in that business. But not only is he just like helping me get stuff done, he's actually learning to the point where now he wants to start his own business. So
with it, you're placing them imprint, and now look at him. He's about to flourish and do something wonderful in the world.
Yeah. So for me, it's just passing along those experiences of like, hey, I actually had him read one of the first books that got me introduced into entrepreneurship, which is Rich Dad Poor Dad. So he read that book, and afterwards he was so excited. And his mom ended up telling me, like, she had a conversation with him one day, and he was like, hey, I want to be like my dad one day, where I want to, you know, have my own business and I can generate my own income and have multiple streams of it. So it's like, wow, like it's getting to him. What I'm sharing with him is getting to him, and he's actually started his own business. He resells sneakers now. So I guess, hey, I'm passing on the legacy and building it.
Yeah, that's so great, Mike. You are planting those seeds, and he is watching you, and that is wonderful. So, yeah, how are you building your legacy?
Well, I agree with I think it starts with, you know, my family, my parents. I always say that I'm the first generation out the ghetto. Like I live middle class. My parents were able to work hard to afford me opportunities, and so for me, it's just building on top of what they have instilled in me.
That's right.
So just like Mike said, not working or wanting to retire with a company and wanting to, you know, own my own and have my name behind something and leave, you know, my kids an option of what they would like to do.
That's right.
You know, to keep a family business going or what have you. And I just kind of took that route. I'm a writer, so I just started, you know, writing books. So I felt like something tangible is always going to be here, you know.
That's true.
And being able to just, you know, write my thoughts out and being able to express myself so that I could pass that along, you know, to my family. And as I get older, you know, I don't have any kids right now, so now I'm starting to think about, okay, well, what can I do to secure their future? What can I do to provide them with, you know, not only the opportunities that my parents provided me, but beyond that.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So I have a question. Do y'all go to anyone in regards to guidance, in regards to building your legacy? Like growing up, with anyone in particular, or at this moment? Yeah. We can start with you, Mike.
Okay. Side note, I love y'all background. I love what y'all got going on. It's like it adds to it. It's like,
you know, we had the funeral flowers the first episode. Oh, I'm sorry, the wedding flowers. Excuse me, but they were looking good. They weren't looking right.
I dig it. I like
your background too.
Hey, appreciate it. That's a great question. And I would say, like, for me, over time, it's constantly changing. Where it's like, when I was a kid, who I used to look up to was the people that was around me because that was all that I knew. Like, my mom, my dad, things of that nature. But then as I started I went to a different school outside of my neighborhood. So like I grew up in the inner city of Philly, and they ended up sending me to a school that was in like the Northeast, the area where it wasn't people that looked like us. So like when I started to see like, hey, they live in single family homes, they live in detached homes. I'm like, we don't have those in our neighborhoods. Then I started to look up at them and look up at their parents and what it was that they did. And then as I got older, it was individuals where I would come into contact with like groups that I would go to, like meetup events. And then I would see people that were doing the things that I wanted to do. And then, I'm either networking with them or I'm looking up to them by like seeing what it is that they're doing, what events they're at, what are they talking about. And, and pretty much like manifesting what it is that I want by looking at them like, hey, somebody that looks like me is doing this, or somebody that is doing what it is that I want. Now, let me see how I can get those results as well. So people that I look up to are people that's doing the things that it is that I want to do.
Okay, great. Yes.
Yes, how about you, Dale?
I definitely agree. I look up to a lot of different people. I'm of old soul, so a lot of the people I look up to are older, wiser than me. So I look to people that are where I want to be. So in different aspects of my life. So if I want to be a bestseller, I'm looking at people that are being bestsellers, that are self-publishers, that have their own business where I want to, what I want to achieve. That's what I'm looking at. As far as family life or wanting to be a future wife or relationship, love. I look to my mom. I look to other women. I look to I have mentors. I have sisters. I have family, friends. So I just I have a circle, and I just lean on people who at whatever phase that I need the inspiration for. That's where I lean to. So the village. It takes a village.
It takes a village.
It takes a village.
So I want to ask the question of, we did talk about businesses and you guys are entrepreneurship and author and all of that. But if you don't have your own business and you are really working a 9 to 5, what kind of advice would you give someone that's kind of like, how am I creating my legacy? Maybe I don't want to start a business, but I am interested to leave an imprint in this world on my children or my husband or wife. What would be your advice on that? We start with Mike.
Okay. So give me the last part of that question again.
So the question is kind of basically, how would you, as far as your legacy, if someone did not have a business or be entrepreneurship and they're just really working a 9 to 5, what kind of advice would you give someone to kind of leave their legacy or imprint, maybe for their children, their spouse, or just them in general for the world?
Gotcha. Like for me, I would say we always hear about time, like time is the most valuable thing. For me, if you're building your legacy, like we only have so much time that we're here on this earth. Like at the end of the day, we can't live here forever, right? And like what I'm going to say about time is like, ask yourself, are you utilizing your time? Like, I don't want to be that person that's telling everybody like, hey, don't work a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 is bad. There's people out there that love their jobs. They get paid an amazing amount of money and they make a difference in people's lives. Like, why would they want to leave their 9 to 5? But what I'm going to say is like, make sure, are you utilizing your time properly? Like, is the time that I'm here, am I getting paid my worth? Am I utilizing my time? Is it worth it for me? Like most people that they go out here and, all they know is working at a 9 to 5. Okay, you work at a 9 to 5, but they went through, they got a degree, they got a master's, they got multiple masters, and they're making the amount of money as someone that is undergrad that just graduated. So in that case, are you utilizing your time properly? If you're making a difference in the world and you're changing people's lives and you love what you're doing, then so be it. Cool. But if you're doing something that you don't enjoy and you're working 40 hours a week and you continue to do this, is that a legacy that you want to pass on? is that a story that you want to pass on to individuals that will never meet you, your great grandkids, and all those things? Is that something that you want to pass on? So if you're someone out there and you're looking at, okay, how can I build my legacy? Ask yourself, am I utilizing my time correctly? Because if not, then you gotta, rewind and do a little work so that you can make sure that, hey, when they do talk about, grandfather or, auntie or uncle, whatever it is, did I make my time here worth it?
Big Mama. Did Big Mama make her time? Right. That's right.
That's
right.
a good one,
Big
Big
Mama.
Mama.
So Big Mama's out. What advice would you give?
Okay, so I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm an entrepreneur that has a 9 to 5. So not only do I have one 9 to 5, I have 2 jobs that I work. So anybody that knows me knows that I work and I work and I work. However, I definitely agree with Mike. And as I get older and as I, get more into my own, it's just like he said, it's work-life balance, and that's really important to me. And so because I am a project manager, I do, I am on the track to keep moving up in my company. However, it has to be worth my time. It has to be, I have to be able to, have a family. I have to be able to turn the computer off, especially with, the world going 100% remote right now. It's very important because you get lost in the time because you're at home, you're sticking and you're moving, and you can find yourself on the computer from 8 to like 6, 7 o'clock p.m. And I don't want to be that person. And being an entrepreneur as well, it's kind of like I have the mindset that I'm using my 9 to 5 to build my business. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a self-publisher. So all the money, all the extra time, it's like I'm using that right now. I know I'm not going to retire being a project manager. I'm going to retire being a bestseller.
Woo!
It's kind of like,
hey, I'm looking at a bestseller right now.
It's kind of like you use your 9 to 5 to build what you want. And even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, and even if you do, love your job and you're making a difference, it's work-life balance, but what are you passionate about? If you're working a 9 to 5 and you're changing people's lives and you love it, what in that are you able to leave behind? So for instance, if you're a nurse, be the best nurse you can be. What are your patients saying about you when they leave? So I want this nurse because she made my experience that I thought I was going to die. She made me want to live. So if that is your calling, then make it the best calling that you can.
I got to drop a bomb on that one.
Yes.
So that's how you leave a legacy working a 9 to 5. You don't always have to work for yourself, or not everybody has that passion or that drive. But if you're going to do it, be the best at what you do and impact somebody's life so that when they leave, they know, oh, I went to this person, and if I ever had to come back, I want this person to do that. All right. So that's what you do.
Yes.
Very good.
You took it to church and back. Come on now. All right. Rudy, have another question for Mike and Zagale?
I think we kind of summed it up.
Yes,
the main point in regards to what is legacy.
Yes. And I just want to think, purpose and legacy, do you feel like it goes hand in hand? And that would kind of be my last question on this topic of kind of legacy.
Yo, now that I think about it, like they definitely do. Because when you give something like 110% more than what's expected, you give something more, 110% more than what's expected, like it's going to come across as like, yo, like that person is passionate about what it is that they're doing. Like if you talk to someone today, matter of fact, I went to Wawa the other day, and it was this lady at the front counter, and she made an effort that everybody that came up to the register, like she noticed something about them, like not just saying, oh, you got a pretty forehead, like no, like, oh, I love your shirt, like and associating it with something else. So it's like everybody that left out of that Wawa, like I'm still talking to you about a cashier at a Wawa. Like why would you normally recognize someone that is at Wawa? So like I'm sitting here, I'm talking to her, and she made my day till I'm talking about it weeks later, right? So if you're passionate about it, like you may be working at a job that somebody else doesn't like, but you're passionate about it, you're giving it 110%, like that is going to be characteristics about you that people are going to talk about, right? Like you know that I'm talking about this lady at Wawa like years to come because she was passionate about it. She carried characteristics that you can pass on in the legacy.
That is so,
So true,
true.
Mike. Yes.
Yes. That's a very strong
Strong
point
point,
because
yeah.
every time I go to work, I go by this store every morning. And it's the same young lady. She does the same thing. She makes a comment if it's your hair, your sunglasses.
Yeah.
And she always leaves, I love you. I love you. So I just stop by there
Yeah.
sometimes just to be inspired by her.
Yeah. And sometimes she
Hey,
Yes.
now that I think about it, like ever since I knew you, Rudy, like you just had that smile. It's something about that smile. Like you put a smile on my face every time I see your face. So it's like that. That carries along with you. That's a legacy into itself, right there.
Very true.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Zakia, what do you think?
I think that your purpose leads you to your legacy. And what I mean by that is, I think that life in itself and experiences, I don't think a lot of people, some people are born and they know what their purpose is. But most people, it's the journey and the process and finding yourself in which you find your purpose, in which it allows you to leave a legacy. So once you find your purpose and what you're passionate about, and the reason why God has put you on this earth, because it's a reason why. It really doesn't matter what you think. It's a reason why you're here. It's a reason why we're at places and things happen to us at certain times, and we experience things at certain times in certain places. And that allows you to leave a legacy. That's right. For people to remember that experience of you is your legacy, no matter what. So, like you said, being at Wawa or experiencing a different coworker and you remembering it years from now, that's your experience with them. Yeah. That allows you to remember that moment in time and that purpose that she had in your life at that time, which inspired you. So that's the legacy that she has. That's what I believe.
I like how you put that. How would you say someone that doesn't have a passion or a purpose, like how could they find that?
I think it comes with time in everybody's life, no matter what it is, that you have to sit with yourself. And whether or not you're ready to do that or not allows you to find out what you're passionate about. So when you sit with yourself, that's not just sitting with yourself in silence or, because we live in a social media world, we get wrapped up in what everybody else is doing and we want to keep up with everybody, or I want to do this, or this person's doing this, not realizing that behind all that, they have to sit with themselves to get to where they're at right now. So whether that be taking time to work on their mental, whether or not that is, dang, I need to be self-accountable. And I'm in this season of my life. I'm in this season of my life because that's where I ended up. And I can't blame anybody else. So if I want to move in my season, then I have to realize the different parts of me that I have to work on inside that nobody else might not need. Nobody else can really help me with. So I feel like once you are able to sit with yourself and you're happy with yourself, then you find your purpose, because then you realize the reason why you wake up every morning. You realize the little things that people take for granted, like, okay, I'm here for a reason. So once you find that, that's your purpose. Now, whether or not that's to be the next Obama or to be, the next Jay-Z, it doesn't really matter. The next VP, it doesn't matter, because you're happy with yourself. That's and what you leave. So that's your purpose. It doesn't. That's how you find it.
I think we all getting a lot of opportunity to sit with ourselves during this pandemic right now. Like, I definitely got to sit with yourself. I love that.
Yes,
and sometimes yourself gets on your nerves. Like sometimes I gotta tell myself, like, you got to like, girl, stop. It's like you need to sit down and you need to focus. You procrastinated. You dragging your feet on some things, or you got all this stuff in your head and it's your fault. Stop being lazy and stuff like that. So sometimes you gotta talk to yourself. Like, pick yourself up sometimes. It's okay. Like sometimes my mom would tell me when bad things happen to me, she would say, I'm gonna give you a day. Cry it out. Be upset. What you gotta do. Be angry. But after that day, you need to pick yourself up, because it's still gonna be there. You can't run from it. So you have to, get yourself together sometimes. Check yourself.
Check yourself. That's right.
Look at that person in the mirror.
That's what you. Come on now. Out here in a minute. Yes. Come on. All righty. Well, I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of the Queen's heart over here for Zaire and Mike.
Thank
You
you.
enlighten
Thank
our
you.
audience. You enlighten myself. And we just really want to say thank you so much. You gave some really, really good key points. Hopefully people are writing them down. I know I'm going to go home and think about it too and write in my little journal tonight because you really highlighted some good points. And we just want to say thank you so much from the Everyday Queens.
Hey, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm over here like, dang, it's over. Like, I gotta leave y'all. I can't spend more time. Like, I don't want to go back to sitting with myself.
Yeah.
No, I'm messing with y'all, but hey, it's been great.
That's right. Yes.
I can't wait to come back.
Yes. You're more than welcome to come back and sit on the good old couch with us. Yes.
No, I love it. But thank you for having me on this on y'all podcast. I appreciate it. I remember when y'all was telling me about y'all first starting, and I'm glad to see it in fruition in real life right now. So like, hey, congrats to both of you, for being able to launch.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of the support. Yes, Diane and Mike definitely in the beginning we were researching, asking questions. They did not have a problem answering it. So that's again, thank you so much and how you're leaving those imprints and seeds. We're all watching. We're just so proud of both of you all and just keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we're gonna wrap up the show today. Today our keyword is
Y'all let it down. Y'all let it down this round.
So I just want to explain to the followers, I see people won't listening. You have to watch all the episodes and make sure you're writing down the key word. At the last episode, we'll give you the instructions of how to win that awesome giveaway. So again, today's key word is purpose. All right. Thank you so much. So now, we're not gonna leave you without the banging prank call.
You
so
gotta
please make sure you listen to the prank call. This one's a banger. You're gonna love it. All right. Thank you so much, followers. We love you, King and Queen.
Until next time.
Make sure you like, subscribe.
Hello, is this Mr. Seaborn?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. Seaborn. My name is Miss Taylor, and I saw in the Google search that you've been looking up for CDL license. Is this true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, great. I was wanting to know if you were interested in we providing your CDL license as well as a business to drive our wigs around. Would you be interested?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, so we wanted to know how would you handle delivering a wig to a customer?
Oh, I got a question because, wait, what is a wig?
A wig? A wig is a nice human hair texture. And so we have various customers that wear wigs. Yes. Do you like, you know what that is?
Yeah, when you said wig, I thought about something else, like some dealing with driving a CDL. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
I have product.
Yes. Do you like women with wigs or do you like natural hair? What type of hair do you like?
I like personality.
All right, that's wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Seaborn. So I just wanted to know if we have a customer that has a wig, how would you secure the wig on their head once you deliver it?
You said how would I?
Yes, how will you secure the wig?
Personally, I probably wouldn't physically do anything, but I probably would just, say like, your wig is a little off, or, I might just don't say nothing because it's really not,
Well, Mr. Seaborn, sometimes we have customers that need a little assistance with their wig, and so we just want to know sometimes can a driver just shift it to the right a little bit for them? Are you able to do that?
Oh, yeah, but no problem. No problem.
Okay.
I just, feel like, I really wouldn't physically want to put my hands on nobody, even, I don't know, maybe strangers, but if that requires for the job, oh no, that's not a problem.
It's not a problem because have you ever dated a woman and you had to shift her wig a little bit?
It's crazy because just the other day,
Okay.
you know, a family member that just, you know, had needed some assistance. And, you know, I just told her, you know, I got it out the way.
You are very sweet. You have a kind spirit. I can tell through the phone, and I think you will be great for our company. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a call back to get all your information. But right now, I just wanted to kind of do like a talk to see how you really going to secure the wig. And I think you would be awesome at the job. And so can I give you a call back tomorrow morning and have my secretary give all your information?
This is what I was wondering about, but you said something about you saying me with a Google search looking on CDLs.
Yes, we did. We saw the CDL and we saw that you've been looking on the Google search, and we just wanted to know if you would be a good fit for our company, and I definitely think you would be. So I'm going to put you down, Mr. Seaborn, okay?
I have another question.
Okay, yes, you are very inquisitive. I love it.
Yeah, because, you know, if I don't know something, I really want to try to find out because, you know, I am trying to, you know, figure out, get my CDL. But I assume that you have to have your driver's license to get your CDLs, right?
Yes, you will. You need a driver's license, but we will work with you on that as well as we work on you with your wig license. We just want to make sure you're certified in the wig.
License.
Yes, you need to be a wig expert, so we need to make you certified in the wig and the CDL, okay? But Mr. Seaborn, I have to go. I have to talk to another call is coming in. But thank you so much, and we'll be in touch, okay? All right. Bye, Mr. Seaborn.